All right, we are the Screen Team, and we are back here on KWOC getting ready to review some movies, man. We're all movie lovers, and we are excited about talking about movies, and I've got two of the best here with me right now. I've got Doug and Stacy. How are you guys doing today?
Pretty good. I cannot complain.
Stacy, how are you?
Doing great.
Now, you guys are going to be doing a little mixture of some horror films, some classic 80s horror films, and then I guess like a classic, late 80s, early 90s kind of comedy with Eddie Murphy called Harlem Nights. We're going to start off with Christine. This is your typical, Doug's getting excited over here, man.
This is what I call like an intro to horror films, because it's really...
There ain't nothing scary about that
movie. I don't
movie.
watch scary movies, but this one's kind of messes with your head a little bit, but I did okay with it. So it's like an intro to horror movies.
The bottom line is, do not mess with the car. Don't mess with Mopar. They will run you over.
Christine is basically a horror film about a classic car that has come to life.
1958 Plymouth Fury.
Doug knows the style.
With one of the original Hemi engines.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about this movie. Doug, you're a big horror film fan. What do you think about this film?
I love this movie. When I remembered the movie coming out, I was just jumping up and down. I was like, yes!
Yeah. Did you know about the book beforehand, or was this kind of like a...
Actually, I did not.
Yeah.
I mean, I was a pretty young guy when this movie came out, but I remember the trailer. It was like, she's a 58 Fury, and blah, blah, blah. She's hell on wheels. Like, oh, this is going to be great.
Yeah.
Stephen King movies are awesome.
Stacy, you are not a horror fan.
I'm not a horror fan at all.
But what do you think about this film?
Oh, it's a good little movie. I mean, it's a good time passer, I guess.
Oh, more than that.
Maybe it's because it's just been on so much at my house that I'm just like, here it is again, you know. It does kind of give you a lesson. If somebody gets overly attached to something that doesn't technically have a heartbeat, and they start changing their personality and kind of becoming a jerk, might be best to crush it.
that's
you know,
exactly.
might be
My
best to
take
crush
is
it.
don't bully. That's my thing. This is a very anti-bullying movie. See, all the bullies, but they had a different word for them in the movie, they bullied him, and what happened?
Well, they were more than just bullies, man. They were
jerks.
That dude was like a 40-year-old senior.
Hey.
He was like O'Banion or something, you
Right.
know?
He stabbed the guy's lunch and broke his glasses.
Oh, I'm not disputing.
His 68 Camaro paid the price.
I'm not disputing that he was not the poster child for happiness.
That guy was a jerk, man.
Yeah, he was
punk.
pretty rude, you know, the things he did to that car and his little cronies.
Oh, man. We watched the deleted scenes, which I had never seen.
Yeah.
One guy was having fun in that gas tank. The other guy was having fun on the dashboard, and I'm like, oh, man.
Yeah.
That's horrible.
However, there is something to be said, and I kind of wish in a non-frightening way it was true. She has this ability to...
rejuvenate.
Yeah. You know, so like it'd be nice if whenever I backed into a mailbox, if it didn't would just pop back out on its own. You know, that would save me a lot of money.
Right.
Old cars never die.
Yeah.
They just fix themselves up.
But this movie starts out like with this car on the assembly line, and I'm still not figuring out
That part's really weird.
like
How so?
well, I mean she's
the rest of the movie is
I think
that's
there
the one
should have been a
question that
prequel. Like, you see the car, like she said, on the assembly line, and she's already got an attitude.
yeah, I mean
why does she have that? Is that what you're
Was it
going
in
with?
the paint?
yeah, like where did this problem come from? Because the car in front of her's fine and the car behind her's fine. The two guys who admire her are not fine.
Yeah.
You know,
Guy put his hand up under the hood, lost his hand. The guy ashes in the seat, he lost his breath. I mean,
I will say
what
the
in
one cool
world?
thing in this movie that I didn't know existed, Doug told me it did, was the do-it-yourself garage.
Okay.
You know, where if a guy
yeah.
who doesn't have a garage or access to tools or anything like that, like you just pay some dude like a monthly fee and you just go in, you can leave your car there and work on it as you go. Like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think so too.
Like, he said those were kind of a thing
That's
back
why
in
they
the
called
day.
the salvage yard originally. Because you can go, you're broke, you can't really afford to hold it. You go in there, you salvage the parts to fix your car up. And if you can't, they will. But there again, it's like a poor man's garage, basically.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And of course we've got the main character guy. What's his name? Archie Cunningham.
Arnie.
Oh, Arnie.
Yeah,
Archie's somebody else. Right?
Yeah.
You got Arnie Cunningham, and he is like the biggest nerd that there is.
Oh yeah.
But this car kind of transforms him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it transforms him into this big kind of player guy. He finally gets a girlfriend. You know, he's got the hair
Ditches the
slicked
nerd
back.
glasses.
Yeah, and like you said, Stacy, it changes him. You know.
For the worse.
I did a little bit of research, and the guy who plays his buddy Dennis, he went on to be like a writer and producer. He did Blue Crush.
Oh, okay. The surfing movie.
Yeah, a lot of his movies are all Hawaii or beach based.
Yeah.
But he has like quite an extensive,
Arnie himself.
setup. Yeah.
What's his name?
I can't remember.
He actually went
Keith
on
something.
to Keith Gordon.
Yeah.
He went on to be a similar, writer, producer, director kind of thing.
Yeah.
But none of his stuff has really been all that big. He's more, I think, in television. But it's kind of funny because I remember those guys in the 80s. They were in a few other movies here and there, but they just kind of disappeared.
His IMDb picture looks like he never got past Christine. He's a little creepy looking dude.
Yeah, Christine got a hold of him and held on.
All right, guys. So who's gonna dig this film? Are classic horror fans gonna dig this film, Doug?
I think your classic horror guy is going to. Stephen King people, obviously. Mm-hmm. And I think a few of your car buffs. They're either going to be for Christine or against Christine because when it comes to car guys, you're Ford, Chevy, Mopar. I'm pro Mopar.
I think
my two favorite cars in this movie.
I think it is a good. Maybe if your kid's being a little jerk,
might be a good
movie to sit down and maybe they'll get a lesson or two out of it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously cars are not going to do that to themselves. They're not going to take you over and all that kind of stuff. But the underlying message, man, don't be a jerk because karma's the son of a gun.
That's true. That's true. The movie is called Christine. You can find it on DVD. We're going to do another Stephen King film. It's called Silver Bullet, and we'll review that next on KWOC.